we like all of it. I have 5 kids and 6 grandkids, 2 of which live close, and the other 4 are way out in Montana. And I am going to say that is my oldest daughter, and she has been around for all of the crazy and all of the neurodivergence in her household. So there's that. Okay, tonight they asked me if I would come and give parents ideas of things and activities that you could use in the summer to build into your kids' executive functioning. All right, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. And I made this whole slideshow, which I accidentally deleted, so I'm like, maybe I need help with neurodivergence, or with executive functioning. And then I redid the whole slideshow, and today I got up and I'm like, I'm not happy with this. I am so frustrated, I am so upset about this because, and I'm just speaking to you honestly here, right? You are moms, dads, okay, who are here on a Thursday night. Thank you. Oh, I love you. And so we are here on a Thursday night because we want to do the best for our kids. And we think, oh, just one more thing, and maybe they'll be okay. Maybe, you know, like, just spin another plate. And I'm like, they're tired. You moms are tired. Like, am I the only one that's tired? Like, I'm just saying, I'm 54, I have 5 kids. You will agree with me here. I am the only neurotypical person in my house. She says mostly. They're like, yeah, you cannot be neurotypical if you're living in a house with 5 people who are neurodivergent. Or 6. How many I'm living with? I don't know. But what I'm saying is, we're tired. And the last thing you need is to have somebody come and say, you have to do this summer. Do these programs, do these games, do these, so that you're building into their, you know, executive functioning. They're going to get to the next level. Okay, yeah, great. And then what hoop do I need to jump through, you know? And at the end of the day, they're just your kids. And they're just people, right, that we love and we care about. And they're exhausting. I'm just saying, like, even if you have neurotypical kids, they're exhausting. But when you have people with a little extra, remember, it's a little extra. And at the end of the night, when you're like, I can be a good parent till maybe 7, and now I'm done, there's a reason for that. Because they are sucking the life out of you. 100%. Yes, thank you. Yes. And it's okay to acknowledge that, right? As a person who does neurodevelopment, be truthful. Tell your brain, I'm exhausted. I love these people. Being exhausted does not mean you don't love them. Being exhausted means you love them. And you are tired because your love is relentless. So you're here on a Thursday night. Maybe it's so you get a break from them. I'm just saying. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And you get a nice dinner, but no guilt. Just come in here and think there's no guilt. If I don't play another game with them all summer, it's okay. It really is okay. Maybe I shouldn't say that, Robin. But it really is okay. If you just let them, I mean, like, what are your age spans? 6, 12, 10, 22. Oh, you are in it, girl. You are in it. First Steps is not coming to your house anymore. And now you gotta backpack them and make sure you get the right toy and the right snack. Oh, yes. Get her a pillow. She needs more. You know what? Here, this is for you. This is for you. That's for you. You win. That is, I should make a commercial. That is the best. That is the best product. Pamper yourself. Give yourself something. Give yourself something, okay? What is it? Oh, what is it?
It's cashew with oil butter.
Target. Hey, there's more back here. EOS. You want EOS. It is the best.
I wish I was shade.
Okay, you can try it. Okay. Now, I want you to know that I literally do have all the notes for this, but we may or may not get there. All right? Because on your note cards, I want you, on the front of your note card, I want you to write down one thing that people see about your life as a parent, right? Just imagine you have a backpack, right? And everybody can see the outside of your backpack. And they're looking at, maybe they see, oh, they're always having fun. They're always going to the beach. So what is something that people would look at you and say, oh, this person, right, about you as a parent? You as a parent. What would people look at you and say, oh, I know this about them as a parent? I always thought that I was presenting one way, and then all of a sudden my friends started talking to me, and I'm like, oh, they don't think I'm crazy. So, maybe your friends think you're crazy. Maybe they think, whatever. What would they see? What do you think people see about you on the outside? Okay? And then on the back side, or the flip side of your card, you don't have to put your name on anything, by the way. On the flip side of your card, I want you to put one thing that people do not know that you're carrying. Something, I don't want you to, lay out, I murdered somebody or something like that, nothing like that. But, something that you're like, I know that I have to live to 150 because I've got too many people depending on me, right? Like something like, what is something you are carrying that people wouldn't see? Okay, and then I have a little basket. If somebody would mind to collect the cards and put them in here. Oh, look at the first child, the firstborn.
I was born for this.
You were. Girl! I brought my helper. Yes. Okay, yeah. So this is the thing. Tonight is not about adding more work to your summer. It's about learning how ordinary activities can become brand building opportunities, right? Just ordinary activities. Good job. Good? Okay, a couple more. Okay, so I want you to know that your kids are more than their diagnosis. They're not their behaviors. Right? They're not their behaviors. They are still children who are still developing, still learning, and deeply dependent on the adults around them. Thus, you are exhausted. Okay? Okay, I'm just going to pull out a few of these and read them. Let's see. One is, you are doing a lot, you have your hands full. The flip side, there's a lot depending on me. Non-stop. There we go. Patience and patient. Some kind of guilt. There we go. Guilt. We live with this guilt, and so much is because of childhood wounds or traumas, or because we're comparing ourselves to those people, and we're so afraid of how they're judging us, and so we have guilt and we have shame, and you just don't need it. You don't need that added to your little extra, right? You're just doing the best you can do. You have hard work, but you always are smiling. Who and how will the person take care of my daughter when I'm gone? Ooh, we're not talking about that one. That's too close. You do everything. You do things for everybody else. You're driven. A poor mom working hard. Yeah. Okay. Take no BS, strict, no gentle parenting. I am everybody's emergency contact. I'm so strong, but I'm not. Yeah, yes, you're so strong because you are in that position. And when you go to bed at night and you feel exhausted, know that you're exhausted for a reason, because you're taking on all of these things. And if you're, gentle parenting. I've got a daughter who has 4 kids, and I say to her very often, I said, gentle parenting is for gentle children. Yours are a bit feral. Right? And she's like, thanks, Mom. I'm like, no, seriously, like, you can't open your windows because they're going to go through them. Like, you got feral ones, and I understand that. I have some feral ones in my house. Okay, I have to be strong and healthy because of my kids. I'm always busy and on the go. All right, so there's a bunch. I'm good at teaching my son life skills. I'm overwhelmed. You know why? Because you're teaching your son life skills. And you're teaching them over and over and over again. No, we have to brush our teeth every day. It's something we do every day. And yes, we also have to shave and wash and every day. And every day it becomes a struggle. And every day you're like, I thought I taught you this yesterday. Yeah, you did. You did. You're not the crazy one here. I mean, you might be crazy, but it's not because you're the crazy one. What if I die? Yeah. Okay, I want to explain something. What if I die before he's totally ready for independence? You are. Whoever said that, you are. That is reality. You are, right? We all are. We don't know. We are not promised our next breath. And so you are. Grieve it. Grieve it, acknowledge it, and keep going. Keep going, because you don't have a choice. I have to be okay so she can be okay. There we go. Right there, I have to be okay so she's okay. Attentive. I want you to think about this. That is at its core is regulating, right? Your kids, our kids, borrow your nervous system to regulate. They borrow your nervous system. Why are you tired at night? Because they are sucking it out of you. Right? They just are. And yes, if you are not okay, they are not going to be okay. They're not. I have a son who's 20 years old. He's got a long list of all kinds of crazy. And did this change? The sound changing. Okay. All right. Anyway, one day I went in and people were and I got out and I was and he like went off the deep end. And this was like, I don't know, a 2 or 3 hour meltdown we're having then. And I'm like, all I said was, I don't know. And he said, but yes, but if you are not okay, I don't know what to do. If you are not okay, I don't know what to do. And let me tell you what, that was probably 3 months ago, and I have been okay. I have been okay. Because I'm like, he actually said it. He actually said it. I'm like, okay, you are more dependent than I thought, right, on the regulation. It is real. It is real. And some of us just have Down syndrome. Some of us have Down syndrome and autism. Some of us have Down syndrome, autism, and ADHD. And some of us have Down syndrome. I just met this person. Down syndrome, autism, ADHD, and epilepsy. That's fun. Okay? And so we have all of that in my house. It's just not all in one person. Okay? So you are tired for a reason. You are exhausted for a reason. But it's okay. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to be exhausted and to have people in your tribe that you can say, this is hard, and not being judged. And if you're being judged, get a new tribe. Right? I mean, seriously, fire them. You're fired. You're done. Right? Because you have to be okay. You have to be okay with not being okay. This is not the life. My sister and I always say, this is not how we play Barbies. This is not how we play Barbies. Now I can tell you, my daughter with Down syndrome, this is how she plays Barbies. She plays it like this. Like, they're all neurodivergent. They're all doing stuff, But I'm just saying that it's okay to say to your tribe, I'm not okay. And it probably, let's see, I'm 54, you're almost that old, and I won't say it. And I was way too old, and I had way too many kids before I realized it's okay not to be okay. It's okay. Like, it's okay if I don't wash the dishes before I go to bed. It's okay. It's okay if you don't brush your teeth tonight. Oh well, that's why we go to the dentist every 6 months. You see what I'm saying? Like, there are things that you can let go of and not beat yourself up for. Right? Because, and adding another game, oh, I just felt so terrible. I'm like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to tell them, do this, do this, do this. Okay, yes, do it, and you can have fun. Or you can do it and be so exhausted because you're like, oh, I got to check this off. We got to play Simon Says. We got to do water fun. We got to finger paint. We got to, and it becomes a list instead of, let's just have fun. Let's just have fun. You know? I worry about my health because I need to care for others. This is busy. This is like, we are all I'm worried about my health. Okay, worrying about your health is the first thing that's going to ruin our health. It really is, right? Because whatever you're thinking about is going to affect the landscape of your brain. So we have to think. And if you can think positively, it extends the telomeres of your brain, right? It extends them. So that means it's extending your life. And so, man, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. I'm around somebody and I'm like, oh, you're going to die. I'm like, no, I'm going to live to at least 110. Why can't I? Why can't I? If I don't, well, that's up to God, and now you have a problem, Grace. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, think positively. But positively does not mean not honestly. I can be positive that I'm exhausted. I can be positive that these people are requiring a lot out of me. I can be positive that I love them with everything I've got, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to be relentless here. But I'm tired. And I can use a little help. Right? And that's where we are as moms. We're probably not very good at asking for the help because we are the help. We are the help. We are the ones. And you just don't have to do that. You just don't. It's okay not to fill the next. Okay. Now, if anybody so chooses, we're not going to write, but if maybe one person from each table, if you want to, there's no rule, you don't have to, there's no guilt, there's no shame. That if you want to, if your child could write you a thank you note, what do you think they would say? I will go first. And I'm only going to speak for my child with Down syndrome, not for the rest, right? But today she would say, thank you for buying Papa Tui, the Rocks products. She has to have the Rocks products. You know what I'm talking about? Like at Target, in the men's section, Dwayne Johnson Rock has a whole skincare line and hair line. But that is the only product she can use. That's it. That's it. If we don't have it, we're not getting clean. And so she sent me a text while I'm working and text out the words exactly. You know what? Go to Target now. And so then I'm like, do you want me to take you? No, I'm fine staying here. Just bring it home. Okay. Again, should I make her go when that's not what she's wanting to do? Sometimes you're 27, you don't want to go to the store, don't go to the store. That doesn't make me a bad mom. That makes me come home with the Target by myself. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so she would definitely say, thank you for getting me my products. So anybody else have? Yes, ma'am.
I feel a kitchen set from you today.
Okay. Well, I can't. I was going to give every person that says something. So I don't know how to do this. I got 3 more products. 3 more EOS products. If anybody else wants to share. Yes, ma'am. Oh, look at this. See, it's a motivator, right? It's a motivator.
I told her to say I love you.
How old is she? Okay. I didn't even give you the. I'm going to put it down here, and people can just come pick it off of this table, okay? So you pick which one you want. I'm telling you, that stuff is great if you have lips that need help. And these, I've never had those. I should be. I'm like, if you're going to talk to moms about take care of themselves, what did I start doing to take care of myself? I did not know that I could literally go to the store and buy the lotion that I like. How stupid is that? And so I'm like, what do I like?
I don't know.
Bunch of them away. I don't like this one. Okay, see, two more. I got 2 more lotions. Okay.
Thank you for buying pizza. Thank you for buying me these cheap
Food, yes.
Yes, food.
Yes.
Lots of thank yous for food.
Yes. And sneaking, probably. Sneaking? The sneaking of food? Yes. One of my clients today got on the phone and was very upset. And I said, what's going on? They said, I got in trouble. I said, well, no, my brother got me in trouble. I said, why did he get you in trouble? Because I was sneaking soda and cookies in the bathroom. I said, did he make you do that? Did he make you do that? No. I said, then you should be in trouble for yourself. Okay, Casey.
Kaylee tells me thank you a lot, but she'll say thank you for taking care of me, thank you for taking care of me in the hospital, all like that.
Yes.
You're a good teller.
Okay, you get the other one. There's one more. Okay. So this is the thing. It is thankless, and they may or may not thank you, or they may thank you for the silly things that you're like, that was the deal? That's what you were happy about. But, okay. I'm not ready for that yet.
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
sorry. Okay. So, we have to go into the mindset. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Dr. Carolyn Leaf. She does a whole lot of work on mind management. Her program is called Neurocycling, and it's awesome. Get her books, read them, listen to her podcast, listen to all that. No, I'm not a representative for her either, okay? But she talks a lot about the way that we think and then how it forms our brains. Right? The internal noise impacts how we interpret our child's behavior. Right? The internal noise we have. And the internal noise can be the voices from your past, the voices of your parents, your grandparents, your sisters, your cousins, your neighbor, your people at church, the voices of these people. And that we use it to interpret our child's behavior. Oh my goodness, they have to stop, I'm going to be so embarrassed. Why? They're the ones pulling their pants down and shaking their naked rumpus. It's not you. It's not you. My husband went for a job interview. True story. Got the job, and they had this big party. Our daughter was 4 or 5 years old, and she ran out in the middle, pulled her pants down. Never had she done this. Pulled her pants down, shook her bottom, and said, shake, shake, shake your booty. I'm like, that was good speech. That was good speech. You see what I'm saying? Like, celebrate the win. Celebrate the win. And there was a whole bunch of teenagers there who said, don't laugh, But they're going to do stuff that is embarrassing. And you're going to see it, and you're going to be like, I'm so embarrassed, I can't believe it. Why? Did you do that? Did you pull your pants down and shake your bottom? No. That was her. It does not make me a bad parent. It makes me a parent of a child who's a little extra. And these are things that we can expect. Do we have to appreciate it? Do we have to like it? Do we have to tell them to continue doing that? No. But they're going to do stuff because they are a little extra. In the story. Stress also narrows our thinking. And if we can be calm, our thinking expands. So, you might need to stop a couple of seconds, or 2 or 3 or 30, and say, you know what? Let's breathe. Let's sit. Let's think. You go to your room and play. You want to watch Barney? Watch Barney. We're going to all take a break. We're all going to breathe. Yes. Yeah. We are not trying to eliminate hard thoughts. We are learning to notice and reframe them. So simple reframes are when your kid, when you tell them to do X, Y, and Z, and they're not doing it, and they're planting their feet down, and it's, yeah, hush your mouth, they're yelling at you, hush your mouth. You can say, he's refusing to do, he's not obeying. We did not have immediate compliance. Well, did you immediately comply to anything? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, so he didn't immediately comply, he's refusing, reframe it, and call it what it is. He's overwhelmed. He is completely overwhelmed, right? She won't listen. She won't listen. And we begin to label these behaviors as their character, right? Or as their personality trait. No, it's brain dysregulation. It's not their personality trait. It's brain dysregulation. It's overwhelmed. And so they're not listening to me. Her brain is completely dysregulated right now. If somebody walked in here and said, you gotta get outside, you gotta get outside, all of a sudden we'd be like, what? We would be dysregulated, and we wouldn't know who to listen to or what to listen to. That's how they feel. Like, people with dysregulation, that's how they're feeling, like all the time. Like, all the time. I'm in panic. What's happening to me? What's happening to me? Oh my goodness. And our kids with Down syndrome have such a high empathy, right? They may have a lower IQ, but their emotional intelligence is like off the charts. So when you walk in the room, I walk in the room, and my daughter's 27, and I'm going, she's like, what's the matter, what's the matter, what's the matter, I'm afraid, what's happening? I'm breathing and I'm tired. But why are you? Because I'm breathing and I'm tired, right? And so the next step ought to be, when I get upset and tired and breathing hard, I just need to walk out of the room and breathe for a few minutes, and I'll come back in and talk to you, right? Because we have to teach them how to regulate. But in order to teach them how to regulate, we have to regulate, right? Because they're watching. They are watching. They're doing this to me. They're doing this to me. They're communicating a need they can't yet express well, right? So reframe, like the whole neurocycle, Dr. Karen Leaf is all on reframing or reconceptualizing your thoughts, right? And it just makes you a lot happier. It makes you a lot happier when you can see that, yeah, I can see that that's overwhelming to you. I told you 6 things to do, but I know you cannot do 1 thing without support, but I just told you 6 things, right? And so that's your working memory. That is your working memory. And how do you increase that? Not by giving him 6 things. Do it. Hurry. No, set your alarm earlier. Get up earlier. I'm sorry. You're going to have to get up earlier. You're going to have to get up earlier because they're not. Actually, they are. They're going to beat you up. You don't need an alarm clock. But you know what I'm saying? Like when we're on it and we're frustrated by them, think how frustrated they are. Okay. When we clean up our own mental mess, we create more space to respond instead of react. To respond to these kids instead of react. If you do not listen to Calm Parenting, it's a podcast, Calm Parenting. Listen to Calm Parenting. He is amazing. He is great. He's raised kids with neurodivergence. And when I listened to it, I was like, this is the most common sense I've ever heard in my life. And he will say, some of us are raising stove touchers. Yes? Like they're going to push the limit on everything. You get it? They're going to push it. And it's not because they're bad. It's not because they're naughty. It's because most of our kids are going to have some kind of speech delay, right? But they're still curious about this, so I'm going to try it. And, oh, no. That is a hot stove. You can't touch it. You see what I'm saying? Like, our kids struggle. Yes, ma'am.
Only our Down kids push other?
Well, children with Down syndrome push.
She said only.
Are you referring only to the children?
Oh no, honey. I'm sorry. That is not my experience. That is not my experience. Yeah, no, that is not my experience. You know when people say, oh, people with Down syndrome, this is what I was told when I had her 27 years. Oh, they make the sweetest little people. Really? Really? My other children would say, live with her. Live with her. You know, like okay, I'm sorry. She will take her sister's bras because she likes them better than theirs and then cut them up. Cut them up. That's not a sweet little person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she does stuff. She does stuff, right? And your people do too. They're going to touch the stove.
A lot.
Literally or figuratively, right? They are going to be button pushing. Okay. The most powerful tool that we have for our children is not consequences. It is regulation. End of story. If you can get yourself, and it is an if, it is a big if, and it takes practice and it takes hard work. If you can get yourself regulated, your house gets a whole lot calmer. It does. And regulation may look like we have a little more screen time. It may look like it's okay if you don't want to wear shoes for a month or a summer. Or my son, who is autistic, he's in college, and when it's done, he's completely overwhelmed. He's done. It's over. And he said, I want you to understand, I am only wearing underwear until college starts again in August. And I said, he said, if we have people at the house, can you put a robe on? You see what I'm saying? But it's regulating. It's regulating. Like, I need to be locked in my room with deep pressure blankets right? Your kids do too. We need proprioceptive input. Some of your kids may be sensory seeking, and some may be sensory avoiding, or they may be both. That's a lot of fun. The both is a lot of fun. Because maybe they want to chew on everything, but they can't eat anything crunchy. Except sand. No, my daughter ate so much sand that her diaper was nothing but sand one time. I am not kidding you. It comes out as sand. It comes out as sand. And that was when I was watching her, okay? And so I'm just saying, like, some of them are, but seeking it or avoiding it, right? They can be both. They can be both. And so just think about, I know this is not an autism night, but there's so much overlap. My son, I did not know, I took it personally. Like my other kids, I would reach over and pat them, and they, mom patted me, that's a good thing. I'd reach over and I'd pat my son like this, and he'd go like this, and then wipe it off. My daughter with Down syndrome also wipes it off. And I'm like, what kind of hateful people? Like, what kind of mom? And I'm thinking, I'm a terrible mom. I am a terrible mom. And then, voila, we have autism too. And I start reading. That is painful. A light touch is painful. Their body feels it as pain. We need deep pressure. And as soon as I read it, I'm driving him, because at this point he couldn't drive yet to college, and I'm driving him, and I thought, okay, the standard is I reach over, he wipes it off. And I reached over and I squeezed his arm. I squeezed it. And he looks at me and says, I love you, Mom. I'm like, oh my gosh, what just happened? What just happened? And so you best believe, like when example, Grace, if I was going to hug her, I would go, hug, right? But my son, every day, multiple times, I'll say, come here, I need a hug. Because if I say, hey, you want a hug? No. I'm like, okay, I need a hug. And so then it is a full squeeze tight, because the light ones are offensive, they're hurtful, they're painful. So what I'm saying is, you're not a bad parent if your kid wipes it off. What's the root? Why are they wiping it off? What is the reason? What is the reason? Right? So you have to be willing to explore the options that maybe you're just not speaking their language. Right? Okay. Kids borrow our nervous system. Co-regulation is the foundation for self-regulation. Co-regulation. You and me together. If you get into a dispute with somebody at work, or you get into with a spouse or somebody, you know that if one person amps up, the other's going to amp up, right? But if somebody goes, oh, let me think about that. Oh, then it starts to de-escalate it, right? Right? You got to think of yourself as a firefighter. Like you're walking in and there's meltdowns all over your house. There's whatever, explosions. There's whatever's going on. And so you have to come in and think, this is a fire situation. Whether, I don't know if you've ever had to call EMS to your house. We've done it multiple times. We're there. We're on their speed dial. Okay. So when they come in, they're not panicked. They're not panicked. Even if they are almost not alive, they're not panicked. They come in and they assess it and they do their job and they may say, okay, mom, okay, we'll do this, and they take care of it, right? You are a firefighter in your home. Your kids are amping it up. Tearing it up, amping it up, breaking it up, painting it up, peeing and pooping on it, whatever. I mean, you've got those kids those age. They're doing it. They're doing all of it. They're doing all of it. And it's okay. They're a little extra. They're a little extra. And so, but you have to come in with a calm nervous system. You have to come in as a firefighter. Okay, I can see that, oh, this is really upsetting. And affirm it. Man, I can see that you're frustrated. I would be frustrated too if somebody grabbed my squiggly worm out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like the sensory toys there. If you don't, those are on your table. If anybody wants to play with them, play with them. The aluminum foil is on there because, let me tell you, that is a great plaything in houses. Give your kids a box of aluminum foil and see what they do with it. I'm talking, we spent hundreds of dollars in aluminum foil over my lifetime, probably thousands, because I had a kid who hyper-focused on aluminum foil. Yes, and would make everything out of aluminum foil. Okay, that's what we're doing. You are the best aluminum foil artist I've ever known. Right? And so, I just want to give you, so these things that are on the table are in my kitchen all the time. All the time. And have sensory stuff in your house that they can get and help them regulate. When they're, losing it, you can say, oh, hey, can I give you the worm? Can you hold this worm for me? It can be that simple, and all of a sudden they're, oh, okay, I'm fine. I'm holding my worm. You know what I'm saying? Like, just anything. The sensory seekers, that cactus you've got, the sensory seekers are going to want the prickly stuff. They're going to want the prickly stuff because they're going to squeeze it and they get that proprioceptive input, right? There's spinner rings, there's plastic noodles, there's, and this is across the board. Any type of neurodivergence, and yes, ADHD is a neurodivergence, right? And so any type, they love any of the sensory toys that you can get. And you can get them, these all, I think, basically came from Target, from their little dollar section thing. Right now, they have tons of them. If you make a trip to Target, they have a little box even, like a $5 box that has a bunch of different ones in them. Yeah, so check that out. Discipline only works if the brain is ready to learn and regulated. So when your kid is, I'm going to take away your iPad. So now you gave them something else to scream about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're getting a speeding ticket, you're upset. And he says, oh, give me your keys. I'm not giving you your keys back. That's going to amp you up. If your kid's having a meltdown, now you don't get your iPad. It's the opposite of regulation. It is the opposite. I'm not saying don't correct them, but you have to decide if I'm protecting or punishing, right? When you have a newborn baby and they start crawling and they start walking, you gently go over and catch them before they fall down the stairs. And you move them, right? You're protecting them because you don't want them to get hurt. You have a kid who's in middle school, high school, and they're just pretend like everything's the stairs, and they're sneaky poo. They're doing it for a reason. Why? Because I want to control something? Maybe it's just because I like the taste of it. I mean, honestly. But you're saying, like, so what are you going to do to protect them from that? Because you got to protect them from themselves. Right? And so punishment, is it punishment or is it protection? Yes, I am 100% for consequences, but you got to do it in a regulated space, or you're going to escalate the meltdowns that I'm sorry. I'm looking up here like, oh, I'm sorry.
What do you want?
We have like 3 minutes, right?
Wait, no, it goes till 9. 8:30.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to talk fast. Dysregulated child plus a dysregulated adult equals
Chaos.
there we go. Dysregulated child plus regulated adult equals a possible teaching moment. Possible. But it's not possible if everybody's dysregulated. Not happening. Connection is always first. Connection is always first. I thought I was listening to this psychologist, don't know who it was, sorry, but I'm giving credit to somebody out there who said that 80%, okay, if you have kids with neurodivergence in your home, Down syndrome is a neurodivergence, okay, meaning they just think differently. It's not wrong, it's different, okay, but 80% of a family's time goes to that child, 80%. Why do you feel exhausted? Why do the siblings feel exhausted? Why does the spouse feel exhausted? That's a whole other topic, because it should be spouse together, doing it together, instead of, and the moms are sitting here, dads are probably home taking care of and watching, right? But a lot of times you see like the mom's carrying the burden. I mean, like, you're taking them to the doctors, you're making the appointments, you're scheduling. What about school? What about the laundry? What about the social skills? What about, blah, 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 blah. And I get it that dad has a whole other set that he's working on, you know, paycheck, you know, insurance, you know, I get that. But there has to be an agreement between parents that we're doing this together. You know, we're doing it together. I also heard, as an aside, family members can be really nasty about your kids and want to give you good advice. Let me tell you what you ought to do. And this is the thing, you do not have to invite them to your house, and you don't have to go to theirs at all. And you can also say to them, oh wow, we're concerned about that too. This is what we're doing. How would you like to help? And they probably will quit because they don't want to help. You know what I'm saying? Or they may say more, oh no, we're handling it this way. How would you like to help? Okay? Or how would you like me to have heard that? Oh my goodness, that was probably the best statement I ever heard from a program I went through. How would you like me to hear that? When you go to pick up your kid from school or from a church activity or a sports event and they say, your kid X, Y, and Z, and you're like, they're in your classroom. You can't handle your classroom? Sorry. Right? How would you like me to hear that? How would you like me to hear that? Were there other kids doing that? Why is it that my kid's the one's in trouble? And you know that's true. You know that's true. Our kids are the ones who are going to get scolded, the teachers, the coaches, and it's not fair, but that's the way it is. And so it's important for you to be able to communicate with them. How would you like me to hear that? Okay. Oftentimes, parents, because 80% of your time and energy is going to that child, right? You're on chronic alert, decision fatigue, and emotional depletion. That is true. That is true. And you can stop this crazy train. You can stop this crazy train. And say, I don't have to add more guilt to myself. I don't have to add things that I don't need to add to myself, right? People's judgments, people's voices. I need to be regulated. I need to work on things so I can work on things with them. You are not doing it wrong if you feel tired. You are doing a high demand job where there's no recovery built in. Unless you build it in. And even when you build it in, I want to share this. I've never been on a cruise, never done anything like that. And my daughter and one of my other daughters and her friends were going. They had a free ticket. Free ticket was on. Anyway, so yes, I'll take the ticket. She's like, Mom, you want to go? You want to go? Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll go. But so I'm off, right? And built in, I'm going to relax. It's great. I don't have those people with me, but I looked at my husband and I said, I have to pay for a phone plan. Like, they have to be able to call. So even when you're off, and my daughter called me and she's like, okay, when are you getting on the plane to come home? I said, I'm not coming home on a plane, I'm on a boat. And she's like, yeah, but last time you came home early. And I flew, and I said, yes, I did, but I can't. I don't have that option right now, right? I don't have that option right now. And she said, I'm not going to cry, but I want to. And I'm like, that's okay, maybe you should go talk to your dad. but you see what I'm saying? Like, even when you're off, you're paying for the extra phone plan, or you're paying for somebody to come in and check in on your kid, or your, right? But you can carve out the time where you can breathe. You can breathe. You can breathe. I don't think that I knew it was, I mean, this is too much information. I don't think I knew that it was okay for me to say to the people in my house, I'm going for a walk. Shut the door. Right? Why? Why? Because of the voices in my head from my parents and the generations before us, right? And it's okay to go out for a walk without them. It is. I mean, if they're little, make sure they're safe. I'm not, you're making sure they're safe. Do not leave them unattended. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. It's okay to carve out that time. Self-care is not rewarding yourself for getting everything done. And done right. You're not going to get it done. You're just not. I mean, like, I'm not being a pessimist. I'm saying be in touch with reality. I'm not going to get it done. And it's okay. The world keeps spinning. It keeps spinning. And life is good. But you got to be regulated, right? Let's see here. There's a lot. Make sure you have a 30 to 90 second pause. Give yourself a permission slip. If you have to write it, I'm not kidding. If you have to write this on a paper, stick it on your bathroom mirror, stick it over your refrigerator, on your stove, wherever. Stick it someplace that say, I do not have to. A permission slip. You do not have to have a perfectly clean house. You're doing great. You do not have to have your kids' entire lives figured out right now. You're doing great. You do not have to react perfectly to every single meltdown or argument. You're doing great. You do not have to implement 50. This is the one. Bang my head against the wall. You don't really. You do not have to implement 50 different charge reward systems or parenting techniques to be a good mom. You're doing great. You're doing great. You don't have to prove anything to your in-laws, your neighbors, or anyone else who does not understand. You're doing great. You do not have to eat everything or anything off of your plate. You're doing great. You do not have to comply immediately. You're doing great. They can be, they will be awkward, and they will say weird stuff. They will. But you're doing great. And you do not have to have an empty sink at the end of the night. You're doing great. Just keep doing it, right? That's the only options we have, is to get up and do it. But do it a little bit different. Do it a little bit different, knowing I'm not living up to their standards. I'm not. I'm living in my world, and in my world, I can love and accept you for who you are. And I need to learn how to regulate. Okay, now we'll go quickly as possible through these slides, okay? I'm telling you, okay, there we go. Building exec. Oh, wait. We had a problem with the slides and stuff, so let me see if I can, because I can't see them. Give me a second. I think they're still on my phone. The computer was supposed to be sitting here, but they wouldn't talk to each other. So you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You're doing great.
I'm doing great. The thing is, like 5 years ago, that would have been like crippling to me. Like oh my word, they're gonna know. Who cares? No. No, everybody else has problems, everybody else has things they can't figure out. Know it. Okay, we're gonna talk about, let's go to the next one. Okay, we're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff tonight. It's all over the place. All over the place. The intention was that I was supposed to come and give you guys ideas on things that you could do tonight with your kids. Okay, great. Do them or don't do them. There's not a checklist. There's just not a checklist. Okay. Neurodivergence is all about a unique brain that quirks. Right? There's quirkiness in it. Learning styles that color outside the lines, memory that is a magical mystery tour, language skills with a twist. Okay, translated. Your kids are going to talk about weird things and probably inappropriate places. Oh, look at you! I took my daughter to the doctor 2 days ago, 27 years old. I had to take her to the immediate care because her ears hurt. So I take her in there, and they say to her, because she's an adult and I'm, just in there, is your mom allowed to stay in here? Yes, I guess so. And then they say to her, can you give us your first and last name? She's 27. And she says, Madison K. Like, so disgusted. And they said, well, what is your last name? She's like, She doesn't want to have her last name, okay? She doesn't want her last name because her last name means that she is dependent upon us. So when they say, what is your last name? This is triggering for her. So she's like, and they look at me and I said, I'm sorry, she's 27. Right? This is not my problem. This is not my problem. She is your patient. I'm just here. And she's like, and I just looked at her, I said, you are 27. Do you not know your last name? And she says, L-A, capital H-U-E. Like this. And I'm like, okay, there we go. So they are that is neurodivergent. Why can you not say your last name? Why can you at a doctor's office? Yes. He has very strong opinions. Okay. The word neurodivergent simply means the brain develops and processes information differently. That's what it means. Processes information differently. That's it. Children with Down syndrome are neurodivergent. The goal is never to make them neurotypical. That's not going to happen. Spoiler alert. It's not. Yes.
So why is it that through therapies, OT, PT, speech, they want to make them, or the bar that they...
Well, because you want your
What is that that happened? You just said...
They're never going to be neurotypical, but they can be the best neurodivergent person they ever could be. You're pushing them in their potential. You're not making them into a neurotypical person. It's not.
It seems like they're not making too much because I'm like, what are you comparing them to? Oh, normal children. What is
Okay, for one, what is normal? Two, you mean neurotypical, or you mean your typical kid?
They would never function exactly the same.
No,
So why are
no.
you pushing them and teaching them how to color inside the lines and teach them how to do this?
Yes.
And it's never gonna get there. So that's what
They
I'm
can. They will get there. They will get there. Yes, my daughter, she is very artistic. She has her penmanship is better than all of my other
I'm
children's.
frustrated when they push him to do so much when it's gonna take.
Well, you're eating pretty good. No. Yes, you're going to push your neurotypical child,
Okay.
right? You're going to push them to be the best that they can
That they
be.
can be.
Yeah, so you're going to push your neurodivergent child to be the best they can be. They're just not going to be neurotypical.
Okay.
And that's okay, because that is the way their brain works. And you're okay with this. You're okay with it, right? Okay, the goal is to help them become their best version.
I just want to say one thing. Our kids are going to always work harder than anybody else
Right.
to be the best that they can be. And they're always going to be compared to whatever people call typical.
Right.
What I try and tell people all the time is begin with the end in mind. frustrating to say I have to write the letters over and over, or do whatever it is over and over. But think where you want them to be at 25.
Yeah.
So if you don't care what that looks like, you back off. They don't have to color in the lines, but you have to think about where do you want them to go and find their sweet spot. Some people are going to be good at math. Camille's our CPA. I'm not good at math. Others are going to be good at dancing or basketball or taking photos. So you have to find that thing, but our kids will always have to be pushed.
Yes.
Because they will always take the path of least resistance. So just
Yes.
begin with the end in mind. Sorry.
Yes. No, you're great. You're great. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yes.
It's just frustrating sometimes.
Different does not mean less capable,
Yeah.
right? It just means different.
Different ways.
It just means different, right? So I want to skip here. We got the primitive reflexes. You need to be doing with your kids. There's a lot of them you can do. Literally, just look them up online. Look up primitive reflexes and do it. I mean, I can show you. Look it up online. Find a video. Do primitive reflexes with them. Yes, and just do it. It helps build new neural pathways. It helps them to regulate. It helps them with everything. A couple of things that I've noticed with every client that I have that has Down syndrome, there's a reflex that we've been working on. It's new to me, but it's supposed to help with impulse control, right? And this is what it should look like. And yes, I do this online with them, and they always laugh. It's a good, funny thing, so go ahead, you can laugh too. But I'm taking my glasses off so you can see my eyes. So what I show them is you puff air into one cheek, and you look the other direction. And then you puff air, and you keep doing it, back and forth. None, zero of my clients with Down syndrome can puff air into their cheeks. None of them. And so it is definitely an oral motor issue. Have them blowing up balloons, have them sucking out straws. A couple of them are starting to be able to do it. They're starting to be able to do it. But when I say when working with them, I mean like we've been doing this for a long time. And they're just now getting this. So I have them now, okay, just touch the opposite sides. Can you look at your finger? No. We can't look at our finger and touch the opposite side. I mean, it's very challenging. It is super challenging. But look up the primitive reflexes and learn them. Do them with your kid if you have time. Right? But it's going to, yes ma'am.
I see a lot of them just Dr. Josh, and they do photo modulation and other things. And I've been writing some places also about the goal is kind of like closing those gaps. Once they start like evaluating my son, he said, well, he doesn't really have a lot of experience, but does that goal, because for their goal is to kind of like end that close the gaps, and then once that gets closed, to kind of just do a little recap sometimes. But and so it's not something that is an ongoing thing forever. It's just something that you have to like if you're testing him like, oh, he doesn't have that, or maybe he has that, okay, he's good to go, maybe you should do this and that. So they don't see a lot of different exercises, but they what I understand is that they can master that and take that out of their list.
Right. It becomes, yes, it goes to the background now. But this is the thing about primitive reflexes. I'm just saying what I know, is that they say if you have any label after your name, or you're over 40, that we should be doing primitive reflexes every day. If you're over 40, and if you have a label after your name, then you should be doing them, right?
Our kids have, you've probably seen this, the kids have successfully integrated their reflexes as they get older, and our kids in our 20s need to do it again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Also the
Absolutely.
address, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it just,
Oh, yeah.
things happen.
Yeah, your reflexes can become unintegrated if you have these are the core reasons. If you have a traumatic birth, right, you're going to be born, it's not going to be integrated. Like if you were sucked out with a vacuum or a C-section, traumatic birth. If you have a brain injury, significant, or I bumped my head, okay? I have a daughter who she had to, her hip dislocated, then she had to take, she took, what's it called, oxycodone, she took a pain pill 2 or 3 times for it. And she was, past tense, dyslexic. She was very dyslexic. We started doing the lizard reflex, and all of a sudden she's like, can I read? Am I able to read now? I can read. Does this work? And I was just new to this. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you actually can. And so the lizard in particular helps with reading and dyslexia. But after she took the medicine, she came out about a week later. She's like, Mom, I'm like stuttering again, and I am like having problems with my reading. I said, do the lizard and her blink cards, working on processing speed. She did them one day, and that evening she's like, I'm not stuttering now, and I can read again. I'm like, okay. So yes, they can become unintegrated, even if they are. And also trauma can cause them to become unintegrated.
Trauma's not always negative. Trauma can be like a very high positive experience that takes them over the head with our kids.
Yes, 100%. It was so exciting. Yeah, it was a trauma.
But what I'm saying is because there's something that we have to focus on.
Yes.
So it's a puzzle, right?
Mhm.
So once we start working on things to reflect on my vision for it was, okay, I want to do this and take that on this.
Right, I get it.
So that I can kind of go deeper on some other things that I need to do. So, and then that's my curiosity. Like how can I find a way to evaluate that he has mastered all of that, and maybe I just need to do some maintenance, just check up on him like every 6 months or something.
Yeah.
Or just kind of notice the little red flags that could point to that direction. Maybe we need to redo this.
Yes.
But I just feel that because the reason why, because everything takes a lot of work.
Everything takes
So
a lot.
I try to focus on a lot of things and make sure that I'm not like there's no one who's in.
Yes.
But so the way I look at them to reflect is like, okay, let me tackle that, and then it's not something that I have to put on my list forever.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
want to know.
Then go ahead with it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And when you notice the red flags, right, then say, oh, maybe we should revisit this.
But so there is a way of you kind of all pretty much mastering that.
Yes,
out of
yes,
it.
yes,
Okay.
yes. I like took that slide out. That was one of them. I like to do the checklist and stuff. But yeah, yeah. You can. You can
Look that up.
Yeah.
Yes, you can look it up. Yeah, it's easy to do. Let's see. Go to the end. Let's go to the end.
What does it say?
No?
Keep
No,
going.
when you see it.
Which one do you
The activities. Outdoor activities for executive functioning. Because we got to be done here.
Attention activities?
I'm sorry?
Cognitive play. There's a couple different ones.
Keep going. More. Okay.
Here?
Keep going. It will have like orange on it. There we go. Okay? So those are activities that you can do with your kids this summer, right? That should not, yes ma'am?
Can you send us the slide?
Yes. And I also have, with my assistant, want to pass these out. Okay. So yes, I can do that.
If you haven't put it, that's fine.
Yeah, it's not as comprehensive, yeah. So, nature scavenger hunt, that is working memory, right? Give your child a list of 5 to 8 things to find outside. You may want to give them a list of 1 or 2 things. They may not have a working memory of 5 or 8, right? So talk to them, give them, find a smooth rock, a yellow leaf, something that flies. So you're working on working memory. Okay, what is it we're going to go outside and find? Where are we gonna go outside and find? Go outside and find. That helps in job skills, that helps in conversations, that helps in everything you do. It's your notepad, your working memory. Build an obstacle course, planning and sequencing, set up a backyard course using hula hoop cones, you get the idea. This builds into planning, impulse control, and flexible thinking. A lot of our kids are not going to be flexible thinkers. They're very rigid thinkers. I always have this chair that I sit in. I always do this. I always. That can become problematic, right? So you want to build into flexible thinking. And I have a student that I work with, she has Down syndrome and autism and epilepsy, and she said the last time we met, she said, next time, can we just do the virus game, and can we do the stars, and can we do the quiz, and not the workbook? I said, yeah, absolutely. And so, and I know if she does not use the workbook, there's probably going to be a meltdown, okay? Smashing her desk, and and so, we did it, and I said, when we started, I said, now remember, you asked if we could do all of these things. I said, I'm fine with it, but we only have an hour. And we're not real fast, right? And so if you want to do it, we might not have time for the workbook. I love the workbook. I know you love the workbook. This is the rigid thinking. And so I said, I know you love the workbook, so we have choices to make. I want to do all of these games. I said, okay. So we do a game, finish the game. And then the whole conversation was again, now we're not going to have enough time to do the workbook, because that's a problem. And she's like, I want to do the games. I said, okay, we'll do the games. We got to 2 minutes before I have to say goodbye. And I said, okay. I said, she's like, my workbook. And I said, okay, now, let's think about what's happened here today. And so we talked all the way through it, and I said, Mom, and text, and I'm like, I'm sorry if this escalated your day, but this is what happened. And I said, we can't do the workbook. You made that choice. I didn't make you not do the workbook. And she looked at me and she said, I'm not doing any games next week. I said, that's fine, right? But this is where growth has happened, because I'm telling you before, it was bang on the desk, it was mad, it was stomp, it was, and she didn't. She was just like, and you could see her. I'm like, she's not going to lose it, right? Because we are working so hard on flexibility for her flexible thinking, because it is almost non-existent. And so I told her mom, she's like, thank you, her day was not ruined, but she did talk about it a lot. Okay, so next one, build obstacle courses, you got that. Creative play, arts and crafts, cooking together are powerful ways to build executive function. Multi-steps. Okay, and there's different ways to do it. Like I'm sure that you have your kids helping you, right? But when you're wanting to be building into executive function, you're going to do it with intentionality. Hey, we're going to tell them 3 ingredients. What are the 3 ingredients? Have them remembering it. Have them hand it to you. Have them knowing what they made and how they made it, right? That's your working memory. Cooking together, reading the recipe. Okay, you may have non-readers, but there are words that they can identify, right? So get them a word that they can identify. I had my little grands at my house the other day, and we were going to make octopus out of a hot dog and crescent rolls, right? And this is flexible thinking on my part. My daughter will know, as if they were kids, I've been like, no way, it has to be the octopus, we're supposed to make the octopus, we have to make the octopus. And so we start making it, and one of them, he's making the octopus, and so excited. And we take plastic knives, and he gets to cut. We can only cut 4 legs in a hot dog, okay? That's just the way it was. And so we made that, and my other grandson, who has Down syndrome, and other stuff, and he says, I will not make an octopus. And I said, that's okay, you don't have to. Years ago, I would have said, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Why am I doing this? This is what we're doing. We're going to have fun. Dang it. Make your octopus. You know what I'm saying? And so you parents, grandparents, you have to have flexible thinking also. What is the goal? The goal is to spend time and to have fun. Right? And I said, okay, well then what are you making? I'm going to pretend like this is a pepperoni pizza. I said, okay. So he rolls it up. they cook them, they come out. By the way, they looked great. And my one grandson, he looks at it and he's like, I will not eat his legs. Even though he didn't cut them, he knew those were real legs. I'm not going to eat those legs. Okay, next. Game time brain builders. Do board games. Board games. This is huge. And with your little ones, I would absolutely have them saying these words. It's my turn. Because when they're in a group, you want them to say, it's my turn. Don't skip me. It's my turn. And that's teaching them to advocate for themselves. It's also teaching them to pay attention. Whose turn is it? And so I always have them say, it's my turn. Who's next? The person's name, speech and articulation, and then I always go last, and somehow I never win. But, so play games, but have them saying what they can say. Have them saying what they can say. If you use sign language, have them sign it. If they use, the communication boards, have them use a communication board. Let them tell you what they are doing. Simon Says, that is huge. That is huge. Do games like that with these kids because they're going to be in typical settings where they need to know how to play them. And they need to follow the rules. And they don't need special preference because they're special people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so teach them those games, puzzles, activities. I think we're about done here, girl. Social and sensory. Water play is always regulating. Always. Always. It may stress you out, but it regulates. Water is a regulator. Always a regulator. Next. Okay, let's just be done. Okay, you can, but we're at 29, and we're at 29 minutes. So just make sure that you are, building the flexible thinking. That's huge. Working memory, doing the list. Have them have independence. Ask them what do you want your chore to be this summer? I don't even want to tell you. I told my daughter she needed to clean the bathroom, and she said, okay, I will, and she does a great job. But then she comes out, and she's about dead, and I said, what did you do? And she says, oh, she used the liquid plumber in the bathtub to wash the bathtub. I said, oh my gosh, that's so toxic. She's like, I just want to try something different. No! So that was flexible thinking, right? That's not what mom says to use. There's something else. So just be careful with your kids when you're giving them independence. But ask them a chore. What's the chore you want to do this summer? What is it? Okay. Idioms. This company is great. Who is it? You can buy all of their cards. It's superincorporated.com. These cards, idioms, you know what idioms are, right? So your kids are seeing this. If I'm working with your kids, they're seeing this like, he got up on the wrong side of the bed. Really means every one of my students tells me, oh, he fell out of bed. No, what does that really mean? And then the next card is, it means he's in a bad mood. And so we just keep doing the same ones, and then I'll add a couple more, and we go back and do the same ones, and they're getting it. They're getting it. And I'm like, hey, because that just enriches your conversations, And so I love the idioms. I love them. They're silly pictures, they're fun, and it's fun for them to do. All right. Yes. And I think we got them on Amazon, and there was like a whole set of them, maybe like 10 boxes of different things, and all of them are good. I just happen to like the idioms. Oh, there's a blue marker lid. There you go. All right, thank you. Have a good night.